how to start getting involved with vegan activism. If you are vegan and you want to take it to the next level, you don't want to just not contribute to the industries that are exploiting animals, but you want to play an active part in ending that exploitation and creating a world of peace for all Earthlings, this video is for you. Now, I'm not the biggest animal rights activist in the world by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just a guy who's been on my journey of becoming the best activist that I can be for the past few months, and what I want to share with you is my journey and the steps that I followed to get to where I am. And I've been to quite a few events. I've had many opportunities to speak up for animals, whether it be in one-on-one conversations, whether it be in public speaking, whether it be online like this right now. And I want to share with you how you can get there too, because making a difference, changing the world, I believe, is something that you can learn how to do, and we all have the power to do this. And furthermore, I believe that we all have the responsibility and the duty to do this. So what I've done here is I've broken down what I've done basically in 3 simple action steps that you can take right away to get started. The first step is to get crystal clear on why you want to get involved with activism. That means educating yourself. Know exactly what happens to animals in all the industries that exploit them. The reason that people think I'm such a strong voice for the animals, and the reason that I'm constantly speaking up and doing my best for the animals, is because I'm so clear on why I'm doing it. I've seen all the horrible videos of animals being abused, being exploited. I've seen slaughterhouse videos. I've been to slaughterhouses myself to bear witness, and I've met animals also at sanctuaries at places like this. By the way, I'm at a Rowdy Girl Sanctuary right now, and I've connected with them, and through all those experiences, for me, all the animals who are being exploited in the animal agriculture industry are like my family. When I see them being hurt, it hurts me as if I see my family being hurt. That's how I think about it, that's how I feel it. And that's why I'm able to be such a strong voice for the animals and do everything that I do, because I'm crystal clear on the why. So never shy away from watching animal cruelty. Watch documentaries like Earthlings and Dominion and educate yourself, because that's going to make you a strong, unstoppable voice for the animals. Which brings me right into step number 2, which is join your local vegan activist community. In most places, there will be someone doing something, and my invitation to you is to go join them, check out what they're about, and to go to as many events as possible and meet as many people as possible. When I first got started, I started by going to a vigil. Then I went to a second vigil. There I met people who invited me to a conference. I was very fortunate that about 2 weeks after I got started, my activism journey was the Animal Liberation Conference in Berkeley, organized by Direct Action Everywhere. And I went to that event and I met a ton of people there. And after that, I kept going to events. I went to Veg Fests, I went to meetups, and I met as many people as I could. The reason why I did this was because I wanted to normalize the idea of doing something for the animals. There's this saying that you are the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with and the books you read. So that being the case, I was like, okay, I want to make a difference. I should surround myself with people who are trying to make a difference. That just seems to make sense. And so that's why I really advise going to really as many events as you can and meeting as many people as you can. You'll see that once you do that, it will normalize the idea of speaking up for the animals, to the point where now in my day-to-day life, when I'm not around my vegan friends, I speak up for the animals. I have outreach conversations wherever I go, and it seems normal to me because I have so many friends around me who are doing the same thing. On top of that, meeting the vegan community is going to support you in all the struggles that you might face as a vegan person, because we all share those struggles, and having a support group, so to speak, is invaluable and really, really powerful. Now, if you're not sure where to start, 2 great organizations to look up are the SAVE Movement and Anonymous for the Voiceless. The SAVE Movement is a group that organizes vigils around the world. A vigil is an event where people assemble at a slaughterhouse to bear witness to the animals who are being brought to slaughter in the slaughter trucks. Every vigil is different. In some places, they just see the animals as they drive by. In others, like the one that I go to in Vernon, we're able to actually stop the trucks and spend some time with the the animals, give the animals some water and some love, and send them off, so to speak. It's this very sad event, but we're able to see them go into the slaughterhouse. Now, what's powerful about that is, like I said, it's a great way to meet your community, but also it's a great way to, like the first point I made, clarify your why. When you meet the animals who are being brought to slaughter face to face, it's a different experience than simply seeing them on a video. And to me, those vigils are the fuel to my activism. The reason that I became the voice I am for the animals today, and the reason that I continue to grow, is because I went to vigils and I actually met the animals who are being brought to slaughter. The second organization I talked about, Anonymous for the Voiceless, is an organization that organizes events called the Cube of Truth. The Cube of Truth is an event where people stand in a cube and hold screens that show footage of factory farms and slaughterhouses. And on the outside are people to do outreach. So because this happens in a public place, people stop to look at the screens, and when people stop, people go up to them and have a conversation with them. Now, this is very powerful because you get to meet not only your community, but you get to meet regular people, and you get to start practicing having outreach conversation. You get to practice making a difference and talking to people in such a way that is going to transform them. You get to witness people right in front of you changing. You get to witness what it's like for people to be exposed to this type of footage many times for the first time in their lives. And trust me, when you have a conversation with someone and that person walks away being like, you know, I'm gonna go vegan now because this is just wrong, it's really powerful, and it shows you that you can make a difference in the world. Now, for both those organizations, the Safe Movement and Anonymous for the Voiceless, you can check out their website to see if there's a local chapter near you. I'm going to link their websites down there, so check that out. But again, those are great places to start. Now, if all this feels very daunting, don't worry, because it was very daunting for me too. The first event that I went to, well, the first event was actually a Veg Fest, but the first activism event that I went to was a vigil, and I was super scared to show up to the vigil. In fact, I remember that I drove up to the vigil, and because I couldn't find exactly where the people were meeting because it was unclear on the instructions, I was like, maybe I should just go home now. I'm not sure where it is, because you know you're gonna slaughterhouse. So already that's a very scary place to go to. It's in a neighborhood that I've never been at, and I just like the thing was massive, right? This slaughterhouse that we went to was huge, and so I didn't know where people were meeting up. I couldn't find them, so I was like, maybe I should just go home. I didn't know where to park, and I was just so nervous to show up. Finally, I parked my car. I parked it kind of far away because that's the only place I could find parking. And then I walked around the slaughterhouse. I tried to find the people again. I was like, you know, maybe I'm not gonna go. Maybe I'm not gonna go. I don't know where to go. I don't know where the people are. Maybe I'm just not gonna find them. This is so embarrassing. I'm not gonna know anyone. Maybe everyone's already gonna be friends there, and I'm not gonna be able to meet anyone. And I had all these conversations in my head, so I almost didn't go. But you know what? I pushed through. I went. I found someone who was going there. That person didn't know where they were going either. And I showed up to the vigil, and it was the best thing I did for my activism career, so to speak. At that vigil, I met people, you know, I said hi to people, and here's the thing too, once you join the community, you'll see that the people in the vegan activist community are really some of the most supportive, open, loving people that you'll ever meet. They're the people who care so much about the world that they're not just gonna be vegan, they're gonna go out and seek to make a difference. So never be afraid to start talking to people at those events, because you'll see that everyone's very receptive, and everyone is going to be so pumped that you are now a part of their community. Which now brings me to the third and final step, which is to ask yourself this question: what is the difference that you are making in the world? What are the results that you are creating? Now, I think it's important to ask ourselves these questions because at the end of the day, the point of activism is impact. We are trying to change the world. So to me, I believe that we should always face what is the difference that we're making, evaluate it, and if it doesn't correspond to our vision, shift our course of action to create the difference that we want to create. See, I don't think activism is just about showing up at events and feeling good about yourself because you did something. It's about creating a tangible difference in the world. Seth Godin wrote a book about changing the world and leadership called Tribes. In that book, he describes how there are two ways to make an impact on the world through communities. One way is to expand the community that you're a part of. So in our case, that would mean enrolling people into veganism. The second way to make a difference is to strengthen your tribe, to increase communication in the tribe, to inspire your tribe, to empower your tribe, to change the community for the better. So what I ask myself is, how am I doing both those things? Now, I'm still finding my place in the movement, exactly what type of impact I'm making and how I'm gonna make that impact. But I'm constantly asking myself, what is the difference that I am making? What about what I'm doing is working and what is not working? How can I do more of what is working? How can I do less of what is not working? What can I do to have a greater impact, a more powerful impact on more people? For example, the reason I'm making this video is to empower the vegan community. The reason I make some other videos on Instagram is to get other people to go vegan, and I always evaluate whatever the results I'm creating. So I look at the feedback that I'm getting, whether it be in person, whether it be on social media, in my comments, in my DMs. I see that people are messaging me that I'm inspiring them, that I'm changing them this or that way, and I'm always evaluating, okay, this is what worked, let me do more of that. So this is not something that you might want to do straight away. I really believe that you should get out there and get started any way that you can, but once you're up and running, I believe it's really important to ask ourselves these questions and to keep our eyes on the end goal. When you start getting involved, you'll see that it's very easy to get a pat on the back from your fellow activists because you're doing a lot. And don't get me wrong, doing a lot is great, but you have to ask yourself, is my doing creating results? Is the world shifting as a direct result of my actions? And if it's not, then perhaps it's time for you to reevaluate your actions. See, activism is not about feeling good. You don't do activism because you want to feel good about yourself. You do activism because you want to change the world, because you want to create a world of peace for all Earthlings. So that being the case, keep your eyes on the vision and do whatever it takes to create that and nothing else. If you follow these 3 steps, what you can expect is for more and more opportunities to open up for you to make a difference. Everything that happened to me, whether it be opportunities for me to be on stage, whether it be opportunities for me to be on radio shows with Jane Velez Mitchell, happened because I put myself out there, I met my local community, and I kept asking myself, how do I make a greater difference here? The reason that I'm able to make the videos that I make, that I see myself being more and more effective in making a difference, is because I followed these steps. By meeting a lot of people, they'll be able to direct you to different events, to different things that you can do. You'll be able to see what works and what doesn't work, and from there you'll be really able to build your influence, the way that you want to make a difference in the world. Alright, so that was the video. Hope you enjoyed, hope you found some value in this video, and most importantly, I hope that you're ready to go take some action, some massive action, because at the end of the day, unless you go out and do something, the world is not going to change. You can listen to me and other people talk all day and you can be inspired, but unless you get up and do something, nothing is going to change. So, hope to see you take some action and change the world. Until next time, hope you have an incredible rest of your day wherever you are, and